summer to go travel the U.S. And the way I decided to do that is by hitchhiking. I'll start with lesson one of this story. Do not hitchhike. I am not condoning it. But I nonetheless want to share with you the experience that I had. So I tried to hitchhike across the country. To end the story, I was successful in doing so. But the journey along the way is often the most important part of this. There was one day where I had gone quite a few hours without catching a ride. I was running low on food and running low on money. All I had was a backpack on my back. I was going through California, getting near the Sierra Mountains, and finally someone came and picked me up. I was so excited for this, I decided to just throw my bag in the back of the pickup truck, jump in the cab, and take on off. I asked him where he was going, and he said north, and I said that's good enough for me. About an hour into the drive, he pulled over to a gas station and said he was going to fill up on gas. So I was so happy that I had a ride, and I hadn't eaten in a while, so I decided I would say, okay, I'm going to jump off, go into the store, pick up a Snickers bar. I'll be right back. I came back about 3 minutes later, and the car was gone with all my stuff in the back. And all I had left was maybe about $7 left in a Snickers bar. No change of clothes, nothing else. And I just thought, this is it. I don't even know how I can call my mom, tell her where I am. I don't even know what town I'm in. And I sat on the side of the road. About an hour later, when I was at my lowest point, another car came by. Pickup truck with a bunch of gardening tools in the back. The driver, I went up and talked to him. He didn't speak English, I didn't speak Spanish. But he signaled for me to get in. We tried to do different types of body language. I signaled to him as the night was approaching, the day was ending. He asked me through his own ways whether or not I had a place to sleep, but I said no. We drove and we ended up stopping at another building, and two kids came out. They were his kids. They spoke English, so I was able to communicate through them. They were my interpreters. We went another further. We stopped at another house, and it was his wife who had finished a day of cleaning houses in the community. Again, they asked me if I had a place to stay, and I said no. So they invited me to stay at their home. I said yes. We went to their home. I got to play with the kids. They were teaching me Spanish. We were telling them about my journey and about the struggles that I just had and why it was that I was stuck on the side of the road. Meanwhile, Mom and Dad in this shack of a house, very small, cooked us a beautiful dinner, fed me. We enjoyed our time together. And then at night, they pulled up a mattress right next to where their kids slept, allowed me to sleep there, tucked me into bed. Kids fell asleep right on top of me. I woke up the next morning as a tap on the shoulder. The father said, why don't we get going? It's good to get an early start, is what he said in the little English that he had. I got up, peeled the kids off, just patted them as I said goodbye while they were still sleeping, and I went out to the front door. And by the truck that they were going to pull me off, take me into and then drop me off to go further, the mother and the father held up a new backpack with a change of clothes, with packed lunch, and with a few extra dollars that they could spare. And I was incredibly moved. I didn't know how to thank them for getting me back on my feet. And this was a family that had so little, a family that didn't have much to share, but they understood what it means to be down on your luck and to need a helping hand. I have still to this day no idea what town that was. no idea who that family was or any way to be able to get back in touch with them and try to thank them again for helping me out in my time that I needed help, but also showing me a better way to treat each other. I tell you that story because it's often those that need help the most, those that are struggling the most, that understand each other's struggles. And in this time that we live in right now, when so much of what's on your mind is about what you do next, I want you to think about that there are other ways in which we also need to be able to measure our lives. That we measure our lives not just about what we do, but by how we do it and how we treat people along the way. That right now in our country, we are struggling as a nation with empathy. That oftentimes we struggle to understand how to put ourselves in someone else's shoes, how to look at the world through someone else's eyes. And I think it's so incredibly important that we think about not just what we are trying to accomplish, but how we go about doing it. In my short time in Congress so far, I've been guided by a line in the "I Have a Dream" speech that is so legendary and so singular in its significance in our nation. And it's a speech that I know I need to recite to none of you. And it's a speech that talks about the vision of the future and what we can accomplish and what we can do. But there's a line in that speech as well, a lesser known line, the line that I often forgot, but one that I tell myself every day, where he says, Martin Luther King says, "Let us not try to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred." It's not just about what we are trying to accomplish and what we do. It's about how we act along the way and about how we treat people along that way to accomplishing that. I just wanted to share that.